tell us a bit about the business you built and the story of why you built the business.
So back in 2010, I started getting back into acting again. It was something that I had done when I was a young girl and all through high school. And I had become a young mother, so I kind of stepped out of the realm of acting and kind of taking on the role of working and providing. My kids got a little older, and so I started getting back on the stage and having opportunities to act again. One of the things that I immediately identified was that I was able to be a part of stories that were being told, but my story was never being told. So I was standing on the stage oftentimes, and I was an accessory to what was the story as opposed to having the platform to tell the story from our perspective. We had some like-minded individuals that felt the same way in the theater sector, and we decided that we were going to take an opportunity to start trying to show Black work and from the Black perspective. We did a co-production with the Des Moines Social Club, and we did a play called Fences by August Wilson, of which I was in that play. It was a life-changing experience for all of us that were on the stage. All of a sudden, our story was being told from our own platform, and people were being able to see and hear about our culture from us. We tried it again that next year in 2014 and decided to do a soldier's play. That play was again a remarkable opportunity to see how Black work and Black stories really fit and were a part of the American story. After that, 7 of us that were just stubborn and wanted to see art being done from that platform all the time decided that we would get together and create what is now Pyramid Theater Company, which was founded in August 2015.
Nancy.
I had no intentions of starting anything, by the way. I am a tech dropout. I went to school for tech. I dropped out, and here I am getting young people excited about technology. That was not my path. That changed for me after meeting a single mother with 2 kids who was a refugee from Burundi. And she was sick. She'd been put at a hospital in Pleasant Hill. She lived in Des Moines. And when I went to help her interpret, because I speak Swahili, I found out that she was just there with the kids, no jackets. It was one very cold morning. I told myself, there's no way I'm gonna let her go home without jackets. I was very broke, went to Walmart, which sometimes I don't go to Walmart. And when I was there, I could only afford 2 fleece jackets. And I tell this story often, by the way, so if you've had it, bear with me. And on my way, she said, I need food. And I was like, oh, okay. So I help her get food. It never occurred to me that there are people who come here, don't have transportation to buy food. So I took her, got the food, took her home, and a couple months later, I was trying to get her a job. She got a job. One thing I forgot, I helped her get a job, but I forgot the children. So in forgetting the children, one day I realized that her daughter was giving her a very hard time. And I realized that boys who came as refugees had opportunities like soccer, but girls had nothing. At that point, we were having a very big crisis. A lot of people don't even realize. When you're coming in as an immigrant, sometimes, especially where we come from, an education for a girl is there. For some people, it just doesn't happen. Girls are expected to be married young. And I was seeing all these young girls getting married. I started a dance class. 5 years later from the dance class, I transitioned it to a tech class. And that's how we started. And let me tell you, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm learning every single day. For me, I have amazing friends who stood by me, and I remember one time meeting Casey, and I think I was complaining the whole entire time, and I'm going like, I don't know what I'm doing. So for me, it just happened, and let me tell you guys, I don't regret it. It's been 4 years. It's been amazing. We've seen great kids go to college, first generation, and I'm proud of what we do.
Chris?
Well, my story is a little different. I'm the 2nd generation in Kemin Industries, and when I was in graduate school getting my PhD, there was no intention to come back to the family business. I was going to be a college professor, get grants, and so on. And after spending the time in graduate school and really seeing sort of what that career was about, and then seeing an opportunity to come back to the family business, I did. And we have been extremely fortunate over the years to have grown substantially. from where my father founded the business. And now, as noted, we have factories in 9 different countries, offices in 90 different countries, and really span the globe with a series of products that are focused on nutrition, both for animals and for humans. Part of our growth has really come from starting new businesses inside our business, and we have done this 9 different times, failed spectacularly with 3 of them, and but been very fortunate with some of the others. And one of our most recent now is to be able to bring medical cannabis to the state. We are the owners of MedFarm, which is the first legalized medical cannabis in the state of Iowa.
Casey,
Good
sorry,
morning.
not going to forget you this time.
Good morning, Casey Niemann with AgriSync. My story started again in a similar approach where I was at Microsoft, had been at Microsoft for a number of years, but I'd grown up on a farm in Kansas, and I was having a conversation with my dad and uncles about all the technology that was coming into agriculture a few years ago. Most of it that you hear about is related to data, drones, telematics. But the frustration at the farmer level was really with the fact that they needed the human element. They needed people to help them adopt all of this technology. All of us had a great breakfast this morning, and in fact, none of you were concerned that we were going to run out of food, right? None of you are thinking right now about whether or not you'll have lunch, and we have the American farmer to thank for that. Part of their productivity, though, is being able to adopt all of this technology. And so, while most of the ag tech has been focused on data, drones, telematics, precision ag, we elected to focus on the human element. So I left the comforts of Microsoft to go to my basement and start AgriSync several years ago. And now we are the leading customer service platform that connects the human experts in agriculture with farmers for about 225 businesses in the US, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom.
Connie?
Probably very few in the room are old enough to remember a little publication called the Des Moines Daily Record. It was the official legal paper for Polk County, and I purchased it to gain access to the information more quickly for Iowa Title Company, which I owned at the time, and I had computerized the title company, and my plan was to speed up the service by getting the information more quickly. And a year and a half after I had purchased it on a 20-year contract, the judges decided that they didn't need a legal paper any longer and gave me 5 days notice. Scary, scary time in my life. I had chaired the Chamber's first small business committee and had tried to convince the Register to write more about small businesses. So I decided we would change from a legal paper to a business paper. I knew nothing about the publishing business and made every mistake in the book. I'll talk about that later.